because you wouldn't shut up about the stupid Han Solo movie. When are you going to react to Han Solo, KYLO? Where's your reaction? When can we expect you to react? I already reacted to Han Solo when I freaking killed him! I can't believe I still have to say this, but I'm going to spoil the crap out of this movie. Nothing is sacred here. You have 10 seconds to leave the area. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7, 8, 9, 10,000! There's been a lot of hot takes about whether or not this movie was even necessary, but I'm going to try a different approach. Let's call it the guy who killed Han Solo take. So where do we begin? Let's start with the name. Solo. I always assumed my dad made it up. Like it was supposed to be the ultimate cool dude name. A loner who plays by his own rules. Space Ronin. But nope. What really happened was my dad tried to join the Empire, and when an Imperial officer asks for his family name, he admits he doesn't have one. So the officer farts Solo off the top of his head. He doesn't even need a second attempt, just nails it on the first try. Oh, you don't have a family? You're all alone? One might say you are solo. Listen, we all knew he was going to say solo, but it didn't need to be the first thing he said. They could have at least built it up a little more dramatically. Like, no family, huh? Let's see what kind of options we have. Oh yes, here we go. Han clanless, Han abandoned, Han sad boy, Han single player, Han over-explanation, Han Snow. And then my dad is all, listen, forget all that noise. You can call me Solo. And then the officer would be like, whoa, nice, that is way better than anything I came up with. You will be known as Han Solo now and forever. God, I should have made this movie. I'd call it Solo. A name that definitely wasn't dispassionately given to my dad by some random Imperial officer. A Star Wars story. But you know what? It's actually cool that my surname has Imperial origins. I may actually start using it again. KYLO Solo. It's not bad. It makes me sound like a loner who plays by his own rules. A Space Ronin. So, speaking of Imperials, let's talk about the Imperial March. That's right. Are you surprised that I know about it? Why should you be? It's a real song that I can listen to whenever I want. Check this out. It's performed by what is known as a traditional orchestra with, a string section, brass and woodwinds. If you don't believe me, then go watch Solo, where it actually plays in the background of an Imperial recruitment video. And don't try to tell me that's not the Imperial March. You know in your heart that it is. Don't lie to yourself. This is peak Star Wars self-awareness, and I, for one, love it. It means I may get to do my own self-aware project. KYLO REN, the YouTube React channel, the movie, A Star Wars Story. Why not? My channel is more important to me than anything else right now. So, my dad, Han Solo, who is portrayed as a young ruffian with a heart of gold, willing to sacrifice everything, including his stupid dice, for the love of his life, Kira. He gets into some trouble, joins the Empire, meets Uncle Chewie, where we discover that he has definitely tasted man flesh, and learn his most valuable asset, which is carrying heavy things, like torpedoes and luggage. Then there's the ringleader Beckett, who doesn't actually put a crew together like the trailer suggests.
I'm putting together a crew.
No, you're not.
You in?
You already had a crew, and you explicitly did not want Han Solo on it. Why do trailers have to be such liars? Let's see, there's Lando and his sassy robot girlfriend who sounds exactly like Captain Phasma for some reason.
So glad we took this job!
You hear that, right? Or am I just crazy? And then there's the bad guy, Dryden Voss, who, I don't know, seems pretty accommodating and reasonable. Sure, he'll stab you for screwing up, but it seems like he gives you a lot of chances to avoid that. He's pretty flexible for a crime lord, honestly. He's got evil scars and eyes that make him look like he'll pop off at any second, but he never really does. I guess he gives a lot of non-consensual shoulder rubs, which is pretty gross, in a type A finance bro kind of way. So back to my dad, who, according to this film, is a man who is always guided by a clear sense of morality, which is so not like the scoundrel that we're all familiar with. They might as well have just called this Solo, all-around good guy who always made all the right decisions for the right reasons and never once even cared about the money to begin with. A Star Wars story.
Hey, I knew that was more to you than money.
Do you see what I'm saying? Did they mean for Han Solo to become a worse person as he got older? Like a reverse hero's journey? Because in Solo, he starts out with a strong moral compass. But by the time we get to A New Hope, something inside of him has clearly died because he needs to relearn what it means to be a selfless person. Like he needs to relearn to be something he already was. But then none of that matters anyway, because then he goes on to become an absentee father who abandons his family, while I go on to become the biggest threat to everything he's ever loved. If that's what they meant to do, that is dark. I don't feel bad for what I did at all. It kind of feels like I put this guy out of his misery. Maybe I'm the good guy. So when I think Han Solo, I think bad dad. But when you think Solo, you might think his iconic blaster, his best friend Chewbacca, the Millennium Falcon, the Kessel Run, always shooting first, having a bad feeling about something, and a million other minute details about Han Solo that don't need arbitrary origin stories. I always imagined that my dad went on a ton of cool adventures, but I guess everything we know about him happened over a weekend. And this movie is about that crazy weekend. Look, I get it. Some things need to be explained. But I don't think anyone needed an origin story for the phrase,
I got a bad feeling about this.
I got a really good feeling about this.
you know? Sometimes people just say things. Doesn't always mean something. The film also goes out of its way to give him credit for a bunch of things that I flat out don't believe. Like, are you seriously trying to tell me that he basically lit the spark that became the fire of the entire rebellion? Yeah, I don't think so. And he 100% did not invent the punch-to-hug fake-out. That's all Lando, and you know it. So let's talk about the big heist. The Kessel Run, aka that thing Dad never shut up about.
Yes, indeed. If it's a fast ship.
Fast ship. It's a ship that made the Kessel Run in less than 12 parsecs. She's fast enough for you, old man.
The Kessel Run was a boast about the Millennium Falcon's speed, right? But we all know a parsec is a unit of distance. So it's kind of like, hey, are you fast? Oh, I'm fast. I ran a 20-mile race, but I finished it in 12 miles. Oh wow, that's fast. Yeah, congratulations, you found a shortcut. That's the fastest thing I've ever heard. They should have just called this movie The Fastest Distance Between 2 Points is Actually a Zigzag Through Cosmic Chaos, Inhabited by a Giant Space Squid. A Star Wars story. Alright, some quick thoughts. Coaxium train robberies. Awesome. It's already a visually impressive way to transport volatile MacGuffin juice, but the constantly shifting landscape makes for an excellent set piece. Speaking of which, how about the core strength of those train troopers? I don't care how good your magnetic boots are. You aren't going to be able to keep yourself upright while the train is sideways unless you're ripped. Seriously, strap yourself into a pair of boots attached to the wall and try to stand perfectly parallel to the floor. You can't do it. Your back is going to give out so fast. The Millennium Falcon. That piece of junk! I guess the front of it looks that way because it's missing an escape pod? Couldn't they just find a replacement for it over the next 50 years or whatever? I guess that's the kind of guy my dad was, though. A guy that always left gaping holes in things that needed to be fixed. Like me. How about L3, who apparently is the personality matrix of the Millennium Falcon? I guess that's why the ship cares so much about rebellion? It's almost like they're suggesting that the ship itself might have convinced Han Solo to come back and help destroy the first Death Star. That is hilarious. My dad takes orders from a ship. And Orlando and L3 like a thing? A sexual thing? Listen, I'm not trying to be coy about this, but that was heavily implied, right? I feel like we need to know more about that. Someone needs to make The True Tales of Lando's Sex Life a Star Wars story. Did you notice Beckett wearing Lando's Temtel Screech disguise? Remember when you thought that Lando beat up some guy named Tamtail Screech and stole his outfit in order to infiltrate the lair of the dangerous crime lord Jabba the Hutt? Well, you're wrong. Lando just has a rando bag of disguises on his ship. That's the real story. A Star Wars story. Did they ever actually show outer space? I don't remember. Come on, guys. This is Star Wars. Let's see some stars. Okay, Darth Maul. Wow, what a surprise. What's up, Darth Maul? Sitting there just steeped in that thug life? That's Darth Maul. So I knew right away that was Darth Maul. As soon as I saw the hood, I was like, oh damn, that is definitely Darth Maul. And then he took the hood off and I was like, yep, holy crap, that's Darth Maul. But then, check this out, he stands up to show you he has robotic legs. And I was like, that is without question Darth Maul, because Darth Maul got cut in half. And the only way that could possibly be Darth Maul is if he had robotic legs. And then, he activates his signature dual-bladed lightsaber, and I'm like, alright, we get it, you're Darth Maul. Jesus Christ, we're not idiots. Plus, you're a hologram, bro, relax. Why are you even turning on your lightsaber in a hologram? Who are you trying to scare? You know what Grandfather never once did? Use his lightsaber to try to scare someone over hologram. Because he was a master of evil and he could force choke you. Force choke you over the phone. That's how you do it. That's how you intimidate, Maul. You're a crime lord now, step it up. Speaking of holograms, why do we even use them? We have video cameras that are like crystal clear and free of any interference. How are holograms better than video cameras and why do we use them both? And are either one of them better than Queen Amidala's jelly vision? What is up with that jelly vision? I have never once seen it before or after that. That's it, I'm moving this to the top of my list. My first priority as Supreme Leader will be to embrace a unified standard HD video format. It's time to let the past die. Anyways, is Solo a good movie? I enjoyed it for what it was. A flashy pile of lies and exaggerations. Just kidding. I mean, I'm not, but I enjoyed this. It was a fun romp through a seedier side of our universe. It's unsubtle, and it lacks a little dramatic tension because we already know how everything's going to turn out. It's got good shooty shoots, and the chasey chases. There were some awesome set pieces, like the train, and the completely made-up Kessel Run. Some great new locales, like Corellia, which was pretty badass. And it was cool to see some amazing new creatures, like the Vampire Gang, the Maelstrom Squid, and Clint Howard. And how about the vocal stylings of that little Bing Crosby alien in a jar? I dug it. Check this out. I killed my dad. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, that's it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and let the past die. And a big shout out to my producer Jeff, who just is always there to pick up after me and keep the whole thing going. So thanks, my dude. None of this would even be possible without Jeff. Make sure you check out his blog. He's got some sick life hacks. Bye!